France is, once again, nearly ungovernable. What's happened over the last few weeks is one of the biggest political crises of the Fifth Republic. Emmanuel Macron appointed Sébastien Lecornu as prime minister and he resigned after just 26 days. In fact, he didn't even last a full day after announcing his new cabinet. Lecornu struggled to gather support from both the left and the right of Macron's coalition. Macron then insisted he try again, and Lecornu, too, has now become France's fourth prime minister since 2024. 4 prime ministers in less than 2 years. This time, however, Lecornu survived 2 no-confidence votes, one from the left and one from the far right. But the price he paid was heavy. To secure socialist support, he agreed to suspend Macron's controversial pension reform. Pensions in France are sacred. If French defend them fiercely, Macron had to bypass Parliament altogether to raise the retirement age from 62 to 64. He used a constitutional mechanism, often called the nuclear button. Approving the reform without a vote cost him enormous political capital only for Lecornu to shelve the reform now to maintain power. What remains is a large fiscal hole. So how bad is the pension problem? The French pension system is one of the most generous and complex in the world. It's built on centuries-old structures layered one on top of another, and many special regimes still exist. Opera dancers can retire at 42. Many railway workers at around 52. Altogether, about 4.5 million workers are in special systems where they contribute little and receive a lot. More broadly, France has one of the lowest effective retirement ages in the developed world, about 60 for both men and women, but also one of the longest life expectancies. The country has only 1.7 workers per retiree, and that ratio could fall to 1.3 by 2070 in a pay-as-you-go system. This is disastrous. Current workers fund current retirees, and contributions already cover only about 80% of the cost. Macron's reform was meant to close this gap over time. Without it, long-term pension spending could rise by more than 3 points of GDP. The short-term cost of suspending the reform looks smallest than €2 billion, but the long-term impact is massive. So what do the socialists propose instead? Their flagship idea is the Zucman tax, named after economist Gabriel Zucman. The plan would impose a 2% annual wealth tax on France's ultra-rich anyone with more than €100 million in assets, about 1,800 households. The logic is simple. The ultra-rich hold most of their wealth in stocks and pay very little income tax because they rarely sell. By using their portfolios as collateral for loans, they can finance their lifestyles almost tax-free, known as the buy, borrow, die strategy. Supporters say the tax could raise up to €20 billion, reduce inequality, and help fix the pension system. 3/4 of French citizens support it, but independent economists suggest the real revenue could be as low as €5 billion. Many argue that Zucman and Piketty's inequality numbers overstate the problem by ignoring retirement benefits and other future entitlements. When these factors are included, the concentration of wealth is far less extreme and hasn't clearly worsened over time. There's also the issue of innovation. A recent Nobel laureate argues that societies with more innovation naturally show more wealth concentration, because successful innovators become rich. Penalizing large fortunes could therefore slow innovation and economic growth. Higher taxes on the wealthy can also discourage future innovators and push entrepreneurs to leave the country, reducing tax revenues over the long term. In short, France has a serious pension problem, made worse by political instability. Macron's reform addressed the long-term sustainability of the system, but Lecornu has suspended it to keep his fragile government alive. The left's alternative wealth tax may be popular, but it's unlikely to raise enough money and may carry significant economic risks. So the big questions now are, was Lecornu right to sacrifice the pension reform? Will he eventually accept the Zucman tax? And would that be good or bad for France? Let us know what you think in the comments.